All right, looks like we have a good number of people, so I think we can go ahead and get started with the first student organization. If everyone from ESSA, the Environmental Sciences Student Association, wants to introduce themselves and then say a little bit more about their student organization.
I'm going to share the screen really quickly, actually, because we have a little presentation, so just a moment.
So hi everyone, thank you for coming. I'm Allison and I'll be talking about the Environmental Science Student Association along with my fellow officers if they want to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm a Conservation and Resource Studies major and I look forward to meeting you all. By the way, Dee, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Hi, I'm Dee. I am also an officer with the Environmental Science Student Association. And yeah, we're going to tell you a little bit about our club. So, like we said, we're the Environmental Science Student Association. Sorry for my little technical difficulties there. But we are a social and academic club, meaning we do things centered around all of our majors and helping each other thrive in our academics, like class planning sessions, but we also have a lot of fun social events and activities. And our biggest goal as a group, as a club, is to foster a safe and diverse community where people of all backgrounds and majors can come together and volunteer and have fun in the natural world and spend time with people talking about the environment and our similar interests. And it's not at all just for people who are in CNR or even people who have a major related to the sciences necessarily, just anybody that likes to spend time outside and have some interesting volunteer activities and social events.
Yeah, so as Dee was saying, in a typical semester, we have thoughtful environmental discussions, and we usually go on a lot of hikes and plan camping trips every semester. But of course, this semester we can't do that. But this is just to give you an idea of what we usually do. And for some of these events, we're going to still be doing them online this year, or semester, hopefully, not a year.
So even though we aren't meeting in person, our team has a lot of really great activities and virtual events planned to keep the community strong and engaged with the natural world. Some of these include virtual museum tours, guest speakers, an environmentally based book club, online research opportunities, and more.
So again, just a little bit of a picture of more detail about some of these events that we like to have during the semester. We bring in guest speakers from all over. In the past, from the East Bay Municipal, and it's really cool to hear about careers in the field. And we have a couple lined up for this semester also, so make sure you sign up so you can hear about those, and it's going to be really interesting.
We're also planning some virtual museum tours. We're looking for like specific museums that will be able to host, something that you guys will be interested in. But just as like a preliminary idea, we have Monterey Bay Aquarium has live cams, and I used to volunteer there, so I'm hoping to also show you guys around with the live cams there.
And like we mentioned, we also have an environmental book club planned. Displayed are some of the books that we have planned for the book club, and we are also able to use club funds to help members access the book.
Next, because again, we aren't meeting in person this semester, we still have some very cool events like a documentary and movie watching. So hopefully we're working on the technology now where we can all log on and watch the movie at the same time and then discuss some of the environmental issues brought up, talk about solutions, and it'll be really good, really fun activity.
And this year, we're partnered with SOP, which is a student organization partnership program with the Career Center. So we're going to have increased access to employers and career help. And you guys have access, our members have open access to help from the Career Center, just like any other Berkeley student. But with this, we'll have increased access to the Career Center opportunities.
We also have a lot of DIY workshops planned, such as zero waste life hacks, easy meals, origami, cloth masks, and more.
And yeah, more. So just letting you guys know we have a lot of really fun activities going on, some letter exchanges we have planned, global Google Map tours. At our first meeting a couple days ago, just yesterday, we showed a bunch of incoming freshmen our favorite spots around Berkeley since they can't be here this semester. And then also some online research opportunities and virtual citizen science volunteering programs. So make sure you join ESSA. Here is our Facebook and Instagram and how you sign up for our email list. And yeah, we're so excited. So we hope you come on out.
Oh, sorry, and just one note, we don't have a specific time we're going to meet yet. So if you join, we're going to send you a survey so you can fill out when you're free, and we'll plan from there. Thanks.
All right, great. So yeah, definitely keep note of that. Also, if any of you want to, I think you might be able to chat out some of that social media to the panelists in the chat. So if you want to do that, that's great too. And then the next student organization we have is BEEPS, the Berkeley Environmental Economics and Policy students.
Yes, hello. We definitely have a shorter slide deck, but also like ESSA, BEEPS is a both professional and social organization. We're revitalizing this club. The last time we were active was 2016 and 17. So yeah, the Berkeley Environmental Economics and Policy students, where students who are currently declared or interested in either majoring or minoring in the environmental economics and policy major minor at Cal here. And what we're planning to do this semester is put on a lot of events focused on professional development and community building amongst EAPS students. A lot of the courses, especially upper divs for EAPS, is very much cross-listed with a lot of other departments, and so we wanted to create a space that was centered around Enviro-Econ students. So some of the events kind of reflect that. We'll be putting on a lot of programming around class support, tutoring, alumni panels, professional resume, LinkedIn workshops, as well as professor research presentations. If you're interested also in like organizing these events, definitely just reach out to me. My email is on the slide here. But to stay up to date for our most up-to-date events and resources, I highly encourage everyone to go to facebook.com/calbeeps. Some of the upcoming events that we have already. So our first meeting, general meeting of the year, will happen next Tuesday on the 8th at 7 p.m. Go a little bit more into depth about like what are our current plans, and then for incoming students or students in the world already, help us shape kind of what BEEPS will look like moving forward. And then on the 22nd, we already have scheduled a like seminar series, and the first speaker is Professor Meredith Fowey, and we'll do a presentation on local air pollution, global climate change, and environmental justice. And they'll present their research for the first 30 minutes, and then we'll do a Q&A and a discussion. So it's a great way to meet professors that you might have if you are an EAP student or are interested in doing. So to stay up to date again, you can visit us at facebook.com/calbeeps. Thank you.
All right, great. Thanks, Sarah. And then the next student organization we have is Grow Tech with William. Or Anthony, sorry.
No problem. Hi, I'm with Grow Tech. I'm Anthony. I'm one of the co-presidents, and I was a founder of this organization. We're a new student organization. We came in last year, and we're very excited to be affiliated with the CNR department. We're actually spanning multiple colleges because we are a very interdisciplinary org. So what we do, Grow Tech at Berkeley is dedicated to providing students with hands-on learning opportunities at the intersection of botany and technology. Every semester, we identify agricultural challenges and assemble interdisciplinary project teams to tackle those problems. And in these project teams, we have students research, design, and build innovative plant growth technologies. So let me show you an example of what that looks like. I have a poster presentation that we had from our previous year. So let's take a look. Hold on, need to navigate here. Alrighty, do you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we see that.
Awesome. Okay, so taking a closer look, this design was for a contest called Growing Beyond Earth, in which collegiate teams design a microgravity plant growth chamber, microgravity compatible plant growth chamber for the ISS. It's a NASA contest. So what we did was we came up with an idea and we fabricated it. We had this entire design and prototype process, and we made a submission. So taking a closer look at what that entails, this challenge was to design a plant growth chamber that could maximize food production. As you can see here, NASA's current system, Veggie, only has 6 plants and all in the same growth phase. So that means once the plants reach maturity, they're taking up so much room. And once you harvest, they're taking up very little room. So how can we make the plants take up a more homogeneous room so that way we can fit more in there? So what we did was that we staggered the growth phases. So we have some that are nearing maturity and some that are at half maturity. And then two, another design opportunity is that all these plants right now, they're oriented upward, but in microgravity conditions, you're not limited to that kind of orientation. So what you can do is you can orient them differently and have them grow horizontally. As you can see here in our image, in our CAD, we have these pots oriented so that the plants are growing out horizontally. So that's just an example of what kind of project we are involved in. So this was year 1, and we were very fortunate to have won. So we're advancing to year 2. And this second year, we will be automating this plant growth chamber so that astronauts don't need to spend as much time maintaining the system. So taking a broader look at what we do, there's some other projects aside from growing beyond Earth. We have an energy efficient hydroponic system that we're working on. Last semester, we've worked on an automated plant pest counter, which counts the number of pests in greenhouses to see if we need more pest management. And we have other projects like plant spatial arrangement, and of course, growing beyond Earth year 2. If you want to check out our project pages, please head to this link and you can see more in detail what we're working on. And now I'm going to go over the application process. The reason why we have application process is not because we want to be selective, it's because we want to provide students with an opportunity where they can get a lot of hands-on experience. So to do that, we want to make sure that there's enough opportunity to go around, and that's why we can only provide so much. So we've already had our info session. If you want to check it out, you can head to this link. We'll replace it later today with the info session recording. Applications are due on Friday. You can apply here. And what we're looking for is just why you're interested in grow tech. Are you interested in the intersection of plants and technology, and what you want to learn? We're going to have interviews that are very casual. It's going to be with a project team lead and with a returning member just to see what you're interested in. And if you make it in, then we have our first general meeting on Saturday, September 19th. So we hope you apply, and we hope to have you part of the team.
All right, great. Thank you, Anthony. And then next we have Perennial, the undergraduate environmental journal.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Jasmine. I'm the co-founder and co-editor-in-chief of Perennial. Celine.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to do this presentation. Hi, everyone. I'm Celine. I'm the other co-editor-in-chief of Perennial. Oh, yeah.
Perennial is UC Berkeley's premier undergraduate environmental journal. It's a relatively new publication. We started last year because we realized that the ASBIL department doesn't have a journal, and we think it's really important to showcase the work of Berkeley's community. So our publication serves as an open and accessible forum to share the diverse work of Berkeley's environmental community. And what is unique about us is we publish both news articles and academic papers. So our staff writers produce editorials that's going to be published on the website and also on the issue. And we also collect academic articles from the Berkeley undergraduates.
So Last year, we spent quite a lot of time getting our first issue ready. This is actually the cover of our first issue, centered around theme of justice. So in the first issue, we had, as Justin mentioned earlier, 7 editorial articles, 7 research papers. It was 74 pages in total. So our staff, they're very diverse in their interests. Like, we all are interested in some aspect of the environment, but like exactly what aspect it is so diverse. There are articles on climate refugees, on PLA composting, prison fire camps, agroecology, environmental activism. So honestly, there's something for everyone here. And if you want to view our issue, you can go to tinyurl.com/perennialissue1. And we're working on our second issue with the theme of transformation, which we published in January 2021.
Here's just a preview of our publication. You can like read more in the link that we're gonna send out later in the chat.
I also want to add, while we do publish semesterly issues, we also regularly post content on our website. So we kind of have like 2 different platforms that we publish on. So what can you do in Perennial? A lot. That's the short answer. The longer answer is our biggest departments definitely are editorial departments. So if you want to join Perennial and you're really passionate about writing, you can join as a staff writer. You can research articles, you can write, you can edit, you can edit other people's articles, and you can interview. Like, personally, I love using Perennial as not really like an excuse, but like whenever I meet someone really cool or I hear about something, I can be like, wow, can I write an article on that? So that's one way to meet people that you want to talk to. Another way you can get involved with Perennial is through the design department. So we have an incredible design director. She's actually a chemical bio major, but she does design as a hobby, but she's very good at it. She actually designed some of our promotional material, like on my background. So if you join the design department, you can do the issue layout, you can help design our website, you can work on graphics, on cover art for our issue, and our promotional material. We also have a finance department, since we do need money to keep our website up, to publish our issues. So if you're interested in partnering with local businesses or working on our yearly grant applications or just managing our yearly budget, finance is a really good team. And last but not least, we have the technology department. So we have some very passionate people who are super passionate about making our website look super good, both on desktop and on mobile. So if you're interested in technology, you want to do data analytics, you want to work on social media, tech department's great.
So why Perennial? So I think compared to other publications, Perennial is really flexible and gives the writers the opportunity to write on a wide range of environmental topics. So you can write on anything that you're interested in, and our senior editor is gonna help you to edit your articles and make it really good. And we also have workshops that can improve your writing, research, and editing skills. So we're gonna spend the first 3 weeks of our meetings dedicated to different workshops. So we really want you to grow as a writer and to develop your different skills. And last but not least, we also are a close community of friends who share the same passion. So you can talk with us about like your interests and your passion, and we're gonna support you. Yeah, and we also have many socials, and we're gonna think of creative ways to do them on Zoom.
Okay, so if you're interested in joining Perennial, joining our community, joining our family, you can apply at tinyurl.com/perennial2020. We are also on Facebook. If you look up Perennial on Facebook, you should see our fall 2020 recruitment information. So if you click there, you can see more information about the application, more details about the departments. But I just want to add to what Jasmine said. We really love like what we do. Like we're very serious about writing articles and everything, but most importantly, we just want to have fun. Like before COVID, we would just go get boba after publication meetings, or we would just like talk about whatever was happening on campus. And even if we're all online, we're still committed to socials. Like our copy editor, he's super into organizing and chumming. So you'll be matched with like a Perennial member. So there'll definitely be that social aspect. Yeah, so if you want to contact us, you can email us at calperennial@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook, we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, and we will be on Twitter very soon. Yeah, so I will put in the Facebook and application information in the chat. Yeah.
Awesome, great, thank you. And next we have FST, Food Science and Technology with William.
Alrighty, I'll be sharing my screen here. Thank you everyone for attending this event. Some great other organizations here, definitely all kinds of exciting opportunities. So I'm the president of Food Science and Technology at UC Berkeley. We are the oldest food science and club on campus at Berkeley, and we do a variety of events throughout the year. We host Tech Talks, which is when some speaker from industry will come visit us. I mean, pre-COVID, we would have book a room at UC Berkeley. We'd have a speaker from industry come give a talk, and then there'd be a Q&A as well, and an opportunity to do some networking afterwards. In the Zoom environment, we will be hosting our first Tech Talk later this month. I'll give you more details on that, but we are working hard to provide that same networking Q&A opportunity as well as the traditional Tech Talk. Another aspect of our club is factory tours. That is also going to be somewhat limited during the COVID setting, but we have been able to visit really cool companies within the food science space, such as Cliff Bar, the sourdough process at Boudin, Impossible Foods a couple years ago, Just Inc., which is another really exciting company in this space. So factory tours are a really cool opportunity for us to learn more about the things that we're practicing and working on in hackathons and workshops, and then we actually get to see it applied in industry. So that's another really cool aspect of our club. And then, as I've mentioned, workshops and hackathons are events that we put on as a club to develop some food science skills. And then networking is something that happens at all of our events. We are a very industry-facing club. Through all of our events, we're able to develop some great relationship with that. Most recently, our outgoing events chair just took on a job with one of our Tech Talk companies from last year. Just goes to show the great networking that can happen through our club. I've mentioned some of these, but past and future events have included companies such as Cliff Bar, Boudin, Just, Impossible. Memphis Meats and Prime Roots are two exciting startups within the alternative protein space. Eclipse is an exciting company in plant-based ice cream alternatives. Better Meat Co. is another one of those alternative meat companies, and then Buchman Kombucha. So this is just some of our past events, but gives you a kind of good idea of the whole breadth of companies and spaces we interact with. Announcing our first event for the fall of this year, we will be hosting a Tech Talk with the founder of Teza Inc. It is a plant-based cheese startup here in the Bay Area. Nathaniel, who's their founder, just finished up his PhD at MIT in biotechnology, and he studied the microbiome, and so he's really interested in applying some of those similar principles to the fermentation process of cheese. So save the date, Thursday, September 24th from 7 to 8 p.m. We'll be hosting a Tech Talk on Zoom. We'll be sending out the link. You can check out our Facebook page for more information. Just to introduce you to some of our officers, I'm the president. We've got a great group of officers. Some of the roles that you can see: publicity chair, historian. We have an events chair that works hard to put together all of our events, as well as treasurer, vice president, and secretary. And then thank you for attending. Our Facebook is facebook.com/food science tech cal. Our website is fst.berkeley.edu, and I will be pasting a link in the chat to our new member Google form, so you can fill that out if you're interested. And just, in closing, we're open to any and all UC Berkeley students interested in food science and technology at Berkeley. And so we are excited to meet you all and excited for this evening. Thank you.
Awesome, great, thank you, William. And then next we have Send for C.
Hi everyone, my name is Sochi and I'm with Send for C. And we're basically support, encourage, and develop for children. So we're a STEM mentorship and outreach group. And basically we focus on Bay Area schools. Right now we're working with Summit K2 that's in El Cerrito, and we focus on academic, college prep and readiness, and just general mentorship within like STEM fields. And we help students perform original research on issues within their local communities. And basically, our org also focuses on the inaccessibility of STEM in marginalized and under-resourced communities. And then this year, we're offering a research track, a college prep track, a STEM discovery workshops, and STEM career spotlight series. And then right now, I'm the lead for the college track. And in the college track, every mentor will work with a group of 4 to 5 seniors to keep them on track and support them with whatever they need, such as filling out apps, personal statements, and meet with them weekly. We will also meet with seniors individually every 2 weeks to discuss applications, financial aid, and personal statements, writing drafts and editing. And then for the fall semester, we plan on having workshops and one-on-one help with applications and personal essays. So we will present workshops on college apps, the requirements for college, brainstorming for statements, personal statement examples, financial aid, etc. And in the spring, we will help seniors with their big college decisions. Currently, we are determining but thinking of presenting workshops on how to choose which college is the best fit for you, potential majors, scheduling classes for whatever major you think of doing in college, potential careers, how to find an internship while you're in college, and joining clubs.
Cool, thank you, Sochi. So hi everyone, my name is Rachel. I am the research track lead within Sun4C. So to talk a little bit about research track, students in research track will design a year-long project that they'll work on with their UC Berkeley College mentor. And these can be anything as long as it's STEM related, and we would want the projects to address needs that students feel exist in their communities, which is why at the beginning of research track, we want to work on helping students define what community means to them and kind of finding their roots first before they can kind of take on an issue in their community, however they define that. So examples of past projects include one of our mentees put on like a STEM career fair for her school, and she would manage to invite professionals from places like Twitch and a hydroponics startup, etc., and had these people speak to students at her high school, which is really cool. And we had another student create a Code for Girls program at our local elementary school. We also had a student create easy to understand 3D graphics tutorials for the software called Blender. So yeah, that's just a little bit of what we did last year, and hopefully we can do more this year, although we're in a remote semester. So for the fall semester, we're gonna focus on brainstorming. Well, you'll help the student brainstorm a project and prepare a grant proposal. And grant is in quotes because we have money to support students, but we want them to practice what it's like to ask for money for a project. And then in the spring would be project execution. And at the end of that semester, they would present at a school-wide symposium. And yeah, so the reason why our fall semester is entirely brainstorming and project planning is so that we can make things as accessible as possible for people who feel like, you know, an independent project is daunting, because it is. So another thing that we're doing is a STEM Discovery Workshop series. So whoever is teaching this, there will be one UC Berkeley mentor teaching this once a week. And as a mentor, you can choose any STEM topic of your choice, and each mentor would only be required to present maybe 1 or 2 workshops. Within each workshop, you're gonna have a spotlight on a Black, Indigenous, person of color contributor / contribute from a different underrepresented group in the field you're talking about. And we also want to include a social justice integration. For example, if you're talking about, say, nuclear engineering, you would want to make sure to talk about the environmental racism that exists within that field and how to help mediate that as a scientist and activist. You also want to include ways to learn more about and get involved in the subject. And you know, tell that to the high schoolers, and we want these to be engaging. So we're looking for mentors to lead these workshops and also a lead for this whole track. And the yeah, you could find out more information by coming to our breakout session. Yes, so the last thing that we're offering is a career spotlight series, and we're partnering with one of our mentees organizations actually. And basically, a speaker will be coming every 2 weeks to talk to the high schoolers about what they do and how to get involved in their fields. And UC Berkeley members will also have access to these career spotlights, so that's an opportunity for you to connect with these college students and professionals as well. Yeah, so you can be involved as a mentor within research track and college prep track, and you can also be a mentor for the STEM workshops workshop series. You can also be a committee member within social media, outreach, finance, all of that. And you can also apply for a leadership position. We're currently looking for a media director, outreach director, as well as a training director, I believe, for training mentors. So yeah.
All right, great, thank you. And then the next student org we have is SNAC, Student Nutrition Advocacy Club.
Hi everyone, my name is Angel and I'm the PR of SNAC and I'm here with Erica.
Okay.
So yeah, we are the Student Nutrition Advocacy Club, SNAC, and we intend to collaborate and promote nutritional awareness on Berkeley campus. So SNAC is a resource for students interested in any sector of nutrition fields, whether it's for personal interest or for a career. And it's a great platform to meet peers who have the same interest in nutrition and opportunities to meet nutrition major students as well. And we provide information on volunteer job opportunities, networking events, academic assistance, and more. So in the past, we have partnered with Kids in Nutrition and the Lifelong Health Center for off-campus volunteer opportunities, where you can interact with kids and tell them more about nutrition. And also we have collaborated with Cow Dining and Berkeley registered dietitians, where you can learn nutritional knowledge from the RDs and also give suggestions for students in the dining center. And we also have cooking socials at the Cow Kitchens in the Morgan Hall. So we are doing our club activity all online this year, and we are recruiting based on 3 committees, which is dietetics, outreach, and marketing. So the application is due very soon in tomorrow on Saturday midnight. And since I'll be leading the outreach team, so I will just briefly talk about what to expect to be at the outreach team. So we will basically plan and do speaker panels and club socials, and we will learn how to compose messages to contact professors, alumni, and for speaker panels and other SNAC project collaborations. And we will also learn how to do presentations and visual aids. And we're also trying to increase awareness of nutrition-related volunteer and job activities on and off campus, and different food assistance programs in the US through like social media or other platforms. So Erica will introduce you to other 2 committees.
Yes. Hey everyone, my name is Erica. I'm the president of SNAC for this year. And yeah, so due to COVID, we had to switch a lot of our activities to be remote. So this fall semester, we're going to have 3 committees: the dietetics committee, marketing, and then outreach. So the dietetics committee, they will deal with mainly, I guess, like being collaborating in projects with like registered dietitians from ASCEN or Accreditation Council for Nutrition Education and Dietetics. And then you'll also be creating infographics and maybe like making recipe cards for different food banks as well. As for our marketing team, you guys, if you do decide to be part of our marketing team, you guys will be in charge of creating graphics, whether that's like nutrition tips or like also nutrition recipes as well, and posting them onto our social media platforms. And we actually have like a cool thing that we're doing this semester for the marketing team, which is partnering with kids in nutrition to edit their videos and providing input on like nutrition education videos for elementary school students. So that's pretty cool. And then we'll also be redesigning the snack logo. Yeah. And then outreach, Angel mentioned before, we'll have like speaker panels and social events. And again, the application is due tomorrow at midnight. And if you have any questions, you guys can reach us in our breakout room or on any of our social media platforms, which includes Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and our email. And more details will be, or all the links and contact info will be listed in the chat. But yeah, thank you.
All right, great, thank you. And then our last student organization is the Students of Color Environmental Collective. I don't think we're hearing.
You're still muted.
Okay, great. So the Students of Color Environmental Collective is a community healing space and a conduit for activism for students of color in the environmental movement and students of color within CNR. We are, I believe, the only group actively working at the intersections of race, identity, class, and the environment. So our purpose is to center marginalized voices in environmental and social justice movements, which we believe to be inherently linked. We are seriously invested in uplifting communities on the front lines of environmental injustice and environmental racism. We work to dismantle systems of oppression and regenerate systems of life by learning about the intersections between environmental and social justice. A lot of our work is learning. But probably most importantly, we offer a healing space and a community space for students of color by sharing our thoughts, our experiences, our ideas, and our resources with each other. So a little bit more, SCEC centers marginalized voices in environmental and social justice movements. And with that being said, I would like to read a little piece from our recent statement. As SCEC organizers, we want to acknowledge that our space has primarily consisted of non-Black and non-Indigenous people of color, and we recognize the privileges that we hold as Asian, Latinx, and other people of color. We are committed to addressing and dismantling anti-Blackness within our respective communities, and this includes fostering student inclusivity and outreach and creating a space of active allyship on issues specific to the Black community within our organization. We work as a healing, an educational, and a working space. As a healing space, we work to validate students of color who seek refuge from white-dominated environmental and social justice spaces, very much including our classrooms. And as a learning space, we're constantly learning about the intersections between environmental and social justice. We're creating and raising conversation about environmental racism and justice on and off campus. And as a working space, we've done kind of a lot of stuff. We have had a really successful Environmentalism So White campaign. We've created a mentorship decal and gotten it institutionalized within CNR. So it's environmental mentorship and professional mentorship specifically for students of color by environmental professionals of color. And we held SCECCon, which is the first ever EJ conference, environmental justice conference, specifically for and by students of color ever, as far as we know, due to extensive Googling. And then we annually do a GSI instructor training. So within CNR, they'll reach out to us and we do kind of a diversity and inclusion training for GSIs. So that's where we're at. And where we're going is hopefully something you can help us with. If you are a self-identifying person of color and you are heavily invested in the environmental movement, or you're just a CNR student and you're like, these classes don't look like me, come check us out. We're gonna have kickoff meetings on Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe, the 9th and the 10th. I can drop those Facebook events in the chat. And yeah, connect with us. We have a Facebook, we have an Instagram, we have an inactive Twitter. We also have an email, socialenvironcollective@gmail.com. And we do send out a calendar throughout that email, so it's easy to stay on top of everything. We have a lot of community events coming up. We're planning some dinner parties, some Marvel movie nights, or DC movie nights. It's really like no vote has been taken yet. So if you want to be in on that, come through. Thank you guys.
Awesome, great. So now we're coming up to the point where you can join the breakout rooms, which with each of these student organizations. So you can see here all of the Zoom links we have for our breakout rooms. We will be keeping this webinar open until 8 p.m. So if you want to go to an org, leave, come back, you can still have these links here until that time, but we won't be having anything else happening actively in this current webinar. But I encourage you to do that. And then once again, we will be trying to post this video on both our YouTube account and then spotlighting it in some of the upcoming newsletters that we have. And we want to thank all of the student orgs that were able to be here. We really appreciate being able to learn about all of you and having you all take the time out to tell us about the great events that you have this semester.